Hello and welcome to the Jack Breslin Students Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University. Today, the Michigan High School Athletic Association and ABS Sports present the 1997 Class C Boys Basketball Semifinals. The Mustangs of Three Oaks River Valley taking on the Benzie County Central Mustangs. Hi everyone, I'm Joe Jason. I'll be bringing you the exciting play-by-play this afternoon. Joining us for the color commentary is Mike Cenit. Mike, good to have you here today.
Good to be here, Joe.
Both sides of the coaching coin today here at the Breslin. The youngster Chris Collins of Benzie County Central in just his second year at the reins of the Huskies. He's had great success early in his short tenure. A couple of North Central Conference championships, a district win this year, and a regional championship to boot. And if you ask anyone in Southwest Michigan who is the dean of coaches in the area, the verdict is unanimous. River Valley's Jerry Schaefer, starting his coaching back in 1957 at New Troy, and for the last 31 years has been the only coach since River Valley actually became a school in Three Oaks. And today, we believe he's going for his 500th career win. And now, Jerry said, I think I'm 1 or 2 away, but according to the stats we have, this will be for 500 today. The Huskies come into today's game at 19-7 from Benzie. The Mustangs at 18-8. They started the year at 2-5, Mike, and then Jerry Schaefer says, hey, we're going to sit some of you starters down. Some have been starting 3 years, Casey Cade for 4 years, and shook them up a little bit, and since then, you see where they are today.
Well, you know, a man coaching that long does what he has to do, and it's kind of fun for me to sit here and do a game with a man like Jerry that's probably the only coach left older than me. So it's fun to see this kind of game because you get the old pro, as you will, against the young Turk. Perhaps a difference in styles and way they coach, and it'd be a kind of interesting matchup.
Let's take a look at the officials for today. One of the few fine women officials that we have here today, Donna Couture, Fran LaHillier, and Dave Nemechek working the ball game today here at the Jack Breslin Students Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University. Once again, it's the Huskies of Benzie Central taking on the River Valley Mustangs from Three Oaks. Glad you could join us today. ABS Sports and the Michigan High School Athletic Association and the 1997 Class C Boys Semifinals. Some announcements are being made here. The teams are lined up on the floor, and everyone will be asked to stand here at the Breslin Center. And before the teams are introduced, and they are being right now, we'll have our national anthem in just a moment.
Joe, what a thrill to be in a facility like this for these kids and the families and everybody involved in these programs. This is just one of the real jewels in this country.
We should say the national anthem took place before the earlier game. There won't be one. We'll go to the starting lineups here in just a moment. Once again, the Huskies coming into this game at 19-7, and the Mustangs at 18-8. And when you see these teams coming up with a few losses here or there, Coach, it's kind of interesting. It tells you a little bit about the strength of maybe the conference in the area that they play in.
Well, and it's also a tribute to the coaching skills of these coaches, because when the team gets down, the coaches get to work.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. There you see the matchups on the screen. The forwards, Olson and Carpenter for Benzie Central, taking on Robertson and Baker. The centers, Sarm and Kasich. And the guards for Benzie Central, McMillian and Myers. Casey Cade, the 4-year starter and all-stater, at a guard for River Valley. And the other guard for River Valley, Jason Dillon, just a 5'8" senior.
Looking at the matchups, Joe, these teams look very well matched together. There isn't a dominating ball player out there size-wise, and based on their matchups, it looks like a very even match.
As we said, a second-year coach for Benzie Central Huskies, Chris Collins, his assistant Gary Watterson, the managers Kenneth Watterson and Michael Watterson, and Jerry Schaefer, of course, the dean of coaches for Southwest Michigan, his assistant Jerry Hinman, manager Matt Walker, and the trainer Julie Conley.
You know, Jerry may well be the dean of coaches in the state.
Very much so. Not a whole lot of coaches out there get a chance in their career to get 500 wins, no matter how many schools they're at. And what a tribute it is to stay at one place 31 years. The only coach that River Valley High School has ever had in varsity basketball, Jerry Schaefer. Well, the teams have been introduced, and they're getting set to tip it off here at the Jack Breslin Students Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University. Glad you could join us today for this semifinal.
And how good is Benzie, Joe? They knocked out the #1 Class C team in the state, first round of this tournament. So they beat Manton, and you know, teams win in tournaments as they build to the finals, and they're certainly in a building mode.
Well, you see them come out on the floor right now. Benzie Central in the home whites with the red lettering and the red trim. The Mustangs in their dark navy blue. The red trim and the white trim. And we're just about set to tip it off here. Standing in the middle, Mike Kasich for Three Oaks River Valley, the 6'3", 185-pound senior. And Jason Sarm, 6'1", 160 and a senior. We're just about set to go here. The winner makes it to the big dance, the state final. Kasich and Sarm in the middle. Tip is in the air. It's controlled by the Mustangs. They'll move it right to left. Casey Cade, left-hand dribble. He'll bring it up to the timeline. Looks around to the left side. Has his man over there, number 32. That's Zac Robertson working around to the right side. Cade up top again to Dillon. Dillon holding out front. Patience is the name of the game for River Valley, a low-scoring team. If the final is somewhere in the 40s today, that may favor the Mustangs. Working it around right side. A little fake from the three from Robertson. Stops in. Ball knocked around and picked up by Benzie Central. Quick turnover early for the Mustangs.
One thing to keep an eye on is the sticky man-to-man that Benzie came out at, which will keep that score down.
Man-to-man defense also applied now by the Mustangs. Working it out front. Nate Myers. Myers drives, stops, right side. Had a shot, tosses it back out front. They'll reset. Jon McMillian down the lane. Little left hand off the side is good.
Nice move. He just moved to the left of the foul line and gave a little head fake and hit the 15-footer.
Casey Cade left-handing. A little token pressure at midcourt. And Zac Robertson back out to Cade. Robertson again left wing. The drive baseline. There's the stop and pop. Rattles and goes. Little contact underneath. No call. They're going to let him play.
Little contact, and he used that baseline beautiful.
Jon McMillian, 6'1", 155. He's a senior. In there with Nate Myers, who's running the show out front. Left side, McMillian down low. Little reverse layup high off the glass is missed, and the ball's controlled by Jason Dillon. Cade slows it down, trots it across the midcourt stripe. Left side for Robertson. Down along the baseline for Kasich. Here's a move down low, kick it back outside. Jumper rattles, no good. Weak side rebound, pulled down by the Huskies. Long range jumper, there's a triple for Nate Myers, the 5'11 senior.
Big time basket, just squared up and let it rip.
5-2, Benzie Central out front, 6:02 and ticking first quarter. There's that half court pressure as they pick it up. Casey Cade will look it over. They're going to hurry it across the timeline. Now they do. Robertson back out front, and Casey Cade will dribble by the center court circle. Robertson left wing, double team there, back out to Cade. Cade over 1,000 points in his career at River Valley.
Now Benzie just switched to a trapping zone, so they're going to show a lot of different defenses.
Baseline jumper, Zac Robertson cuts the lead to 1 at 5:33 and ticking of the first. 5-4, Benzie Central. And the Huskies with it left to right. Out on the wing is Matt Olson. Lets it fly from 3, doesn't work, and the rebound pulled down by Jason Dillon. Cade's up the left side, bounce pass through the paint, nice play.
Nice
Kasich
pass.
left hand, will it go? Yes.
The basket counts, and he gave him the foul, but he got away with a little shuffle step. But it's not what you did, it's what they call. You know, there's a real difference in offense on these two schools. Benzie is really going to try and push the tempo up as much as they can, where River Valley is really, as you said, going to control the tempo. It's going to be interesting seeing which one prevails.
5 unanswered points for River Valley, and Kasich combines for the three-point play. That one's off the rim and out of bounds. The long-range jumper by Nate Myers hit the side of the iron and went out. And River Valley has a chance to make it 7 or maybe 8 unanswered points. Casey Cade taking his time. Robertson in the middle has a 3-on-3. Kasich from 3, left wing, good. Donna Couture said so. The three-pointer for River Valley. 10-5 our score, as RV has doubled up Benzie Central here in the early going.
Well, of course, when we get this far in the big dance, I guess three-pointers aren't a surprise, but it's nice to see these kids warm up so quickly.
Here comes the inbound, far side underneath the basket for Benzie Central. They'll line up the play, slap the ball, start the play, kick it out on the wing. Jumper by McMillian, no good. Off the back of the iron, secured by the Huskies back out front. Nate Myers lets it fly from 3 again, hits the top of the backboard, and Kasich is there for the rebound. Slapped around, ball last touched. Ooh, they say by the Mustangs.
Interesting call. Of course, it's a lot easier for us to call the game from up here.
Here comes the inbound again, this time near side. And this time the ball bounces on the end line. Well, sometimes there's justice. Justice does prevail. And now the Mustangs will have it right to left. Casey Cade will take it at three-quarter court and just take his time bringing it across the line. 10-5 River Valley. They've scored 8 unanswered points to take a 5-point lead after being down 5-2. Left wing Robertson in three-point land. We'll just walk it back out to top of the key and work it to Cade. Cade drives, stops, dotted line, bounce out of bounds, touched last by the Huskies. Looking down low that time for Bryan Baker, and seems like when they're spreading the floor like River Valley does, they're going to shoot it inside every once in a while.
Well, it's a good old-fashioned 2-3 zone. If you could get behind it, you could score.
Three-point attempt is missed by Bryan Baker, the 6'5 senior. And the Huskies bringing it down the floor. Matt Olson drives, lays it up, is fouled on the way to the basket. And he'll be at the line to shoot a couple.
What Benzie's doing on defense is they're bringing 3 guys up, 2 chasing the basketball, willing to trap the passing lanes to get the basketball and giving up the layup shots, as you will. So it'll be interesting to see if that strategy holds.
Take a look at the line. It's Matt Olson, the 6-foot junior. He'll shoot a couple. And the front end is good. 4:04 left here in the first quarter. It's 10-6. The drought has ended for Benzie Central. River Valley on an 8-0 run until that free throw, and the second one rattles off the back of the iron and is secured by the Huskies. Could be a 4-point play. Triple on the way is good. Big triple. And that was Jon McMillian, the 6'1 senior. Here comes the press.
Drought ended quick, right, Joe?
10-9 in the corner. Kasich fires 3, rims, doesn't get it. And the rebound pulled down by the big guy, Chase Carpenter, the 5'11 senior, the wide body at 190. Has it top of the key, drives the paint, kicks it back outside. A little travel out front. Jason Dillon will touch it and toss it in at three-quarter court, and Casey Cade will walk it up again. 10-9 our score. A little seesaw battle here. Benzie was up quickly, 5-2, 8 unanswered by River Valley. And now 4 unanswered by Benzie. Huskies on the defense. The drive in the paint, Robertson put it up.
That was a great shot because he shot off the wrong foot coming from the opposite side for a right-handed ball player. Didn't count, but it was a great shot.
NBA scouts like that one. That continuation would have been good.
Well, I guess at this age, the college coaches are like that.
I thought they were going right from high school to the pros these days.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
Here comes the inbound. Foul was called before the shot, and that means that Dillon will trigger in underneath the basket on the near side for Jerry Schaefer's Mustangs. Cade on the wing. He's been silent in this game. Averages over 20 a game. Has had over 1,100 career points. Robertson on the wing. Dillon lobs underneath. Back out on the wing and out top. Robertson drives left hand, stops at the Spartan logo and fires it in.
Nice shot.
12-2 our score. River Valley out front by 3. 2:56 remaining here in the first quarter. Nate Myers right-handing across the timeline. Jason Tarzny is in the game, and pass underneath and a foul called on River Valley.
And that was a great defensive move. Just happened to touch the arm, but stopped a short 2.
Foul goes on Mike Kasich. That's his first and the team's first. 3 team fouls called against River Valley and 2 team fouls called against Benzie to start the game here. And the free throw is good by Jon McMillian. Second free throw is good, and River Valley will face the press now with 2:46 remaining in the first. 12-11 our score. A 1-point lead for the Mustangs. Kasich into the middle. Here's the fake jumper. Robertson had it down low, and a foul is called.
Got him with the hip.
River Valley got away with a little break there. They looked A little disoriented on the fast break there, and didn't look like Robertson really had anywhere to go, and luckily he was fouled.
It really didn't materialize well. It kind of just floated along.
Here's the inbound pass, touched last by Brian Rosa. And River Valley will inbound. Jason Dillon, the 5'8" senior, underneath the basket near side. Guarded closely by Myers. Out on the wing and back out front to Casey Cade. Not uncommon that Casey would go the entire game.
Mr. Iron Man.
Down low, Robertson turned, fire, rimming, no, and the rebound pulled down on the offensive side. Baker, turnaround, good.
And that was a big-time rebound and shot by Baker because the Benzie team had boxed him out so well. He just used his athletic skills to get that ball.
Nate Myers over the timeline, working against Dillon out front. Standing dribble, 2 minutes to go, first quarter of play. 14-11 River Valley over Benzie Central. Spin move, down the paint, down low. Chase Carpenter kicks it back out front. Jon McMillian looks over the three, drives, free throw line, and the reaching by Cade and the foul.
Not the kind of foul a coach really likes because offensively, Benzie was going nowhere. So it's kind of a waste of a foul.
Here comes the inbound pass. Jason Tarsney. Nate Myers with it now between the circles. And Dillon goes left side. Down low baseline, turnaround, fire and fill on the wing. That's Brian Rosa, the 6-foot sophomore.
Just a sophomore. Big time shot.
Cross court pass. Down into the corner, and Kasich will pull it back out front. Casey Cade had a notion from about 30 feet. Didn't take it. Baseline left, Greg Newell driving, lost it. Gets it back, changes pivot feet, no call, but he tosses it away. And Nate Myers up the right side.
Nate wisely slowed the ball down. He had 4 blue shirts in front of him.
Benzie looking to take the lead on the triple, and it's a no-go, and Zac Robertson pulls down the rebound. 14-13 River Valley. There you take a good look at Casey Cade bringing it across with that left-hand dribble. Robertson. Kasich now way out high. That's where you want him. Down low and too hard by Greg Newell, the 5'10" senior.
But he wishes he had that one back.
Right underneath the basket. A little too much oomph. Benzie trying to take the lead. Top of the key. Jon McMillian drives the lane, lays it in left hand.
Nice drive by Jon. He used his body to block the defensive man, made the money.
30 and ticking here in the first quarter. Cade lost it on the floor. Loose ball is picked up and kicked out of bounds, and it goes off the foot of River Valley and out, and Benzie will have it. Nate Myers was fighting for it. He won the battle. And Jason Tarsney will inbound underneath the basket near side. Casey Cade will come out. Bryan Baker back in now as they get the tall bodies in on the inbound pass with 25 left and ticking here in the first. 15-14 Benzie with the lead. Jason Tarsney out front. Baker with the steal. He'll bring it up. They have time. He'll drive. 13 seconds on the clock. Rimming doesn't get it. And the rebound, Nate Myers back the other way. Down to 8 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Still time. Down to 5. Around a pick. Fires the 3. It's no good. Rimming kicked around, and it is picked up by River Valley, and they didn't see the time on the clock. Greg Newell secures, and that's the end of the first quarter.
Kind of an interesting quarter of basketball. I don't think either team has really caught their stride yet. They both seem a little tight, although it has been a quarter of runs.
Benzie Central leading it at the end of the first break, 15-14. Back and forth game. As we said, Benzie took a 5-2 lead. River Valley had 8 unanswered points. And then Benzie came back with 4 unanswered. River Valley back again, up 14-11 at one time, and then 4 unanswered by Benzie to take the lead by 1 at the end of the first quarter. No foul trouble. 14 fouls so far for River Valley and 3 for Benzie Central.
And really, neither team has really dominated the other team, so there really hasn't been a trend yet. It's kind of like 2 middleweight fighters working on each other, trying to find an opening. We are coming to you from Michigan State University, the Jack Breslin Center.
And we're glad you could join us today for this game. ABS Sports and the Michigan High School Athletic Association bring you this Class C semifinal. Benzie Central leading River Valley by the score of 15-14.
Kind of interesting. We're in the Spartan house, but it's my understanding that none of the coaching staff from Michigan State can attend these games because of an NCAA regulation. So they can host them, but they can't attend them.
Chris Collins, the head coach of the Benzie Central Huskies, and the River Valley Mustangs, coached by Jerry Schaefer in his 31st year. Hey, you happen to have some experience with some head coaches. Doug Moe happens to be a good buddy of yours. Went to school with him, right?
Well, I went to high school with him. Doug Moe and Billy Cunningham were the two stars of my high school team at Erasmus Hall in Brooklyn. And kind of interesting because Billy went on to be just an all-star pro player, and Doug used to eat him for breakfast in practice. So you never know.
Robertson leads River Valley with 6 points along with Kasich. They each have 6. 9 for McMillian to lead all scorers in this game for Benzie Central. And the Huskies will have it, moving it left to right to start the second quarter play. Possession arrow going the way now of River Valley to begin this second quarter. Benzie up by 1, baseline reverse,
nice
and
defense.
it is blocked by Baker, but the putback is good. Jason Sarm, the 6'1" senior center, puts it back, and it's a 3-point ball game now as Benzie up on River Valley 17-14. Jason Dillon working it out front, drives. Ball is touched last out of bounds by Benzie. Robertson almost put his fingers on that. That would have been a turnover for the Mustangs.
What caused that is Benzie started their defense much further out on the court this time, and River Valley got a little flustered and threw the ball away.
Casey Cade back in the ball game. There you see him. Greg Newell comes out for River Valley. Here's the inbound. Baker on the left wing, down low, Kasich. Kasich will turn, and he lost it off his leg out of bounds. .7:26 left in the first half, and Benzie Central with the ball and a 3-point lead over the River Valley Mustangs. 17-14. Here's Nate Myers, top of the key, drives lane left. Myers again in the left corner. And now Matt Olson holding it. Baker on him. He'll drive, set around a pick, kicks it back outside. Benzie showing some patience of their own on offense. Ball tipped around, Kasich had it loose, and it's picked up by Dillon.
Benzie then went into a real ball control offense, and River Valley stepped right up and took away a passing lane.
Sticky fingers there for Casey Cade. He tried to pass it off to Robertson and double dribbled. 6:51 left in the first half, and Benzie with it left to right. There you see Nate Myers fires the triple hard off the back of the iron. Kasich touched it, and Robertson with the rebound.
The key to rebounding is position, position, position. That was a good example right there.
Casey Cade not getting into the offensive flow yet for River Valley. Here's Kasich. Baker, free throw line extended, 3-pointer no good. Kasich offensive rebound, puts it to the floor. Casey Cade had a chance. Now he takes a 16-footer. That's off the front of the iron, still knocked around and pulled down by Benzie.
If River Valley starts hitting jump shots, nice play.
All the way down the floor, Jason Sarm with the lay-in. And a timeout is called by River Valley. 6:05 remaining in the second quarter. It's Benzie Central 19, River Valley 14.
If River Valley starts hitting some of their jump shots and opens up that zone, they'll have an easier time with rebounds, layups, and so forth.
You know, one of the programs sponsored by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, which truly underscores the value of educational athletics, is the Scholar Athlete Award, sponsored by Farm Bureau Insurance. 24 young men and women have been selected as the recipients of $1,000 college scholarships. Mark Swart of Holland High School is the recipient of this year's scholarship in boys basketball. Students interested in applying for the Scholar Athlete Award for the 1997-1998 season should contact their high school principals. That's a message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association and AVS Sports. Glad you could join us. Joe, Jason, Mike Cenit here at center court, the home of Spartan basketball, the Jack Breslin Students Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University. It's Benzie Central 19, River Valley 14, 6:05 left in the first half, and River Valley calling timeout after that fast break. Baseball pass, one scoop it in. You don't even want to see him put it to the floor when he's that close to the basket.
And it was a good timeout because 5 points are manageable. You get up to 7 or 9, then you really have to change the way you do things.
River Valley now. Down low, Robertson goes to the glass and he's fouled.
That was a good play.
Robertson playing all ends of this court, doing well on the defensive side as well as the offensive side. The Mustangs' leading scorer in this game right now is 6 points. 3 of 5 from the floor so far for Robertson, and now he'll get a chance to shoot 2 at the free throw line. Couple of rebounds for Robertson as well. And the front end of 2 is good.
And that young man must be a football player also. He's a big-bodied kid.
19-15, and the lead is cut to 3 as the second one falls for Robertson. Greg Watterson in the ball game, and he'll right-handed over the timeline. Almost lost the dribble out front as Dillon's on him. Right side for Olsen, down low, and Jon McMillian kicks it back out on the wing right.
One of the things that Benzie does so well, you could notice as they're doing, is they move very well without the basketball.
Matt Olsen back out front to McMillian. Working it around, Brian Rosa goes in, rejected by Robertson, got him on the arm.
It's a good defensive play, though. He was in the right spot at the right time, happened to catch the arm.
Gutsy call by the official right there in front of the River Valley crowd. Foul is on Robertson. That's his first and the team's 5th.
You've done enough games, Joe. When's the last time a referee reacted to the crowd? Probably never.
I think they talk with their back turned to the crowd. That I've heard before. And I think the comment is something like, "I'll run you out of here if you don't be quiet."
Right.
At the free throw line, Brian Rosa, just a sophomore. And the front end is good. Calm, cool, and collected Brian Rosa, the 6-foot sophomore, has put his Benzie Central Huskies up by 4, 20-16. There's some math for you. Here's second free throw, that's good. 21-16, 5-point lead for Benzie. 5:20 left, and here comes the full court pressure. Dillon inbounds, ball's tipped, Robertson has it, he'll bring it across the timeline, creates a 3-on-2. Left side, ball was kicked, and a good defensive play by Brian Rosa to break up a sure 2.
Well, Benzie really dodged the bullet, because when you break the press and you have your offense behind the defense, it should be a sure 2.
Casey Cade yet to score. Robertson out front, Cade left side. Down in the corner, Baker will fire a 3. It's off the side of the iron, followed a shot but couldn't get there. It was blocked out nicely by Matt Olsen.
Boy, River Valley just can't buy a basket.
Down low, and it's knocked away by Kasich. Baker has a 2-on-2. Baker will drive, take left hand, scoop, high glass, no good, tipped around. Dillon has the rebound, stolen away from behind, and Benzie's got it back. (21-16). Benzie County Central, the Huskies leading the Mustangs at Three Oaks. River Valley jumper on the way. Nothing but net for Jon McMillian. He has 11.
You know, basketball is a game of momentum and streaks, and you could see the momentum building in this Benzie County team.
23-16, a 7-point lead. Robertson left wing, takes a dotted line, is tripped from behind. I think their feet just tangled up a bit. Greg Watterson, the 5'11 junior, is called for the foul. It'll only be the team's 5th foul.
In any team game, that would have been a foul. Football, soccer.
Coming into the ball game now for Benzie, Nate Myers, the 5'11 senior. He'll defend the inbound, and 5 seconds is called.
Wow.
That's a way to jumpstart the offense by playing some great defense.
Again, the momentum is building right now for Benzie.
4:09 ticking, second quarter play, 23-16, Benzie Central with the lead. On the right wing is Matt Olson. Back out front. McMillian, jumper, dotted line, no good. Rebound by Baker. Casey Cade right to left. Baker, three-pointer, no good. Back of the iron, rebound Dillon. Back out Casey Cade. NBA three-pointer.
Wow.
Nothing but net.
Wow. That was a big-time shot. That was 6-7 feet beyond the three-point line.
You score over 1,000 points in your 4-year starting career on the varsity, and it's just a matter of time before you light one up.
But not from half court.
Here's the jumper, McMillian. That's good for three. McMillian has 14. Oh, my.
Wow. Now these guys are heating up. Now they're starting to feel more comfortable.
26-19, 7-point lead. Baker on the run down the line, and he stepped out of bounds.
You know, just a step too far. He was really in there for an uncontested layup, and he just got a little away from himself.
Fans who will be watching the videotape can rewind that one back, take a look at how he probably, it looked more like it was a
slide. Yeah, absolutely.
Slide out of bounds. Nate Myers across the timeline.
You know, these $100 shoes shouldn't slide, Joe.
Dotted line, right side jumper, good. Foul underneath. Basket's good by Matt Olson. And the push is going to be called on Benzie County.
No, they give him the basket. No, they wave the basket off, I believe.
Basket is good.
Well, so much for my refereeing skill.
28-19.
That's why I'm up here with you, Joe.
Chase Carpenter picks up the foul, his first, team sixth. Next foul will put the Mustangs into the 1-and-1. Dotted line jumper, back of the iron, no good. As Ryan White went in, the 5'10 sophomore, and he'll go to the free throw line and shoot two.
And there's a cardinal rule on defense. Stop the man with the basketball. Benzie let that young man penetrate too far and gave him an 8-foot jump shot, which he could have made, plus a foul.
Brian Rosa back in the ball game now for Benzie Central. Here's Ryan White's free throw, and that's too hard.
And that's almost a must. When you're struggling on offense, you really have to make your foul shots.
28-19, 9-point lead for Benzie. And the sophomore at the line trying to cut it to 8, and he does. River Valley just content to back it off to that straight man-to-man defense. Over on the left wing is Jon McMillian.
Ooh.
Jumper on the way is good, and that was Matt Olson.
That was a rainbow. Ooh, broke the clouds.
Pressure, Robertson forcing it across the timeline, loose ball, jump ball. Possession arrow will go to River Valley.
I would imagine River Valley would be real eager to get into the locker room in a half court and just review what they've done this half.
Well, maybe they just put it in Casey Cade's hand and
let him fire.
Just what the doctor ordered. Cade will have it out by the High School Athletic Association logo. Drives, goes in, shake and bake. The take and the make, and just like that, it's 30-22, an 8-point game. Just under 2 to go. Kicked around out front. Casey Cade with the foul. Ooh, boy. That was a loose ball. Knocked away by the Mustangs. Matt Olson and Casey Cade were fighting after it. They collided, and the foul was on Cade. That'll be the team's 6th. His 2nd.
That's one of those plays. Could have gone either way with the fouls or really a non-call. So it's the luck of the draw.
And we take that back. Casey Cade is going to have to come out. He has just picked up his 3rd foul. Dillon back in the ball game. Chase Carpenter goes in, throws it away. Went inside, decided to kick it out on the wing, and it was too far away from Matt Olson. Ryan White, the 5'10 sophomore, standing in the corner to toss it in for the Mustangs. 1 minute, 52 seconds left here in the second quarter play. Coming in the ball game right now for the Huskies is Jason Tarsney, that 6-foot junior. Robertson again loses the dribble, and they call a jump ball. And this time possession arrow will go to Benzie.
Really what River Valley needs to do before the end of the half is try and cut this lead to 5 or 6, get it to a manageable spot where they could run their offense where they're comfortable in the second half.
Matt Olson was set to trigger it in, and the whistle sounded. And we'll start it over. Substitution did not get on the floor in time, and now we're set to go. Olson has to hurry it in, and he does. Chase Carpenter, baseline right.
Just made that, Joe.
Carpenter calls timeout, had nowhere to go with it. We've got a timeout on the floor. 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining here in the first half. And Benzie Central leading the River Valley Mustangs by a score of 30-22. You know, there's a great opportunity for high school seniors to stay involved in interscholastic athletics once their prep playing career is over. And it starts right now. As a registered game official in the Michigan High School Athletic Association's Legacy Program, high school seniors can begin their officiating careers. For more information, contact your local school athletic administrator or the Michigan High School Athletic Association office in East Lansing. And an exciting one here. 30-22, an 8-point lead for Benzie Central. 142 for River Valley to try to cut it here before the half starts.
Yeah, and that's almost a must. You really like to go into halftime with a little bit of momentum, and you don't. The last thing they want to do is go in double figures down. So you know, they say the first 5 minutes of each half and the last minute of the half are the most important in a basketball game. So we're right at it right now.
It'll be Benzie Central's ball, and they'll inbound underneath the basket on the near side. Chase Carpenter with a heads-up call to call timeout. Nowhere to go with the basketball, and 5 seconds counting on him. Trying to find it inside, can't do it.
Good defense.
Nate Myers on the wing right will fire the triple. It's
Ooh.
good.
Now we're,
33-22.
Now we're at that position we spoke about where they're double figures down and they really need to convert.
Dillon across the timeline. Casey Cade on the bench with 3 fouls for River Valley. Dillon between the rings has it knocked away. He'll just go back and retrieve it. Double team knocked away out of bounds. And River Valley will get it back.
If there's one thing you come out of the first half with is I think River Valley is having a terrible time with the doubling up zone defense where the 2 guards are always trapping the basketball, and it's taking the River Valley team out of their offense.
So you got a shot at Brian Rosa, the Pete Rose of high school basketball. Charlie Hustle sliding all the way down the floor after that one. Robertson, free throw line extended left. Baker out front. Dillon will hold it. Down to 50 seconds to go. See if River Valley's going to be content to play for one. Oh, Dillon grabbed a pass away from the defender. Robertson for 3. Got it.
Payback.
Oh, he nailed it from 3. 33-25. Back to an 8-point game. 33 ticks left on the clock.
The River Valley steal and layup here would really go a long way, Joe.
Nate Myers will stand there and let it tick down on him, and Dillon comes out to get him at midcourt. Down to 18 seconds to go. An 8-point lead for River Valley. We're looking at 12 seconds. Nate Myers, 5'11" senior. Here comes the pick out high by Carpenter. That's a little bit of a moving pick.
Kind of moving pick.
Here's the jumper for 3, and it's good! And that is the end of the first half of play.
That was great execution of clock and getting it to the point where they put 3 on the board and didn't give River Valley a chance to get it back.
River Valley had cut it to 8, but Benzie comes back on the triple by Nate Myers. And there you have our score at the end of the first half. Benzie Central 36, River Valley 25 at the end of the first half. You're listening to The 1997 Class C Boys Semifinal, a presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and AVS Sports. Ready, ready, ready. Welcome back. The Michigan High School Athletic Association and AVS Sports presenting the 1997 Class C Boys Basketball Semifinals. The Mustangs of River Valley against the Huskies of Benzie County Central. Joe, Jason, Mike Cenit to bring it to you midcourt at the Breslin Center here at Michigan State. What a great first half we had. It looked like River Valley was going to come back on a quick triple, but Benzie Central answers the bell, and it's 11-point game, 36-25 as we head to the third quarter.
Well, the last 2 minutes really heated up, and both offenses really opened up and started firing long range and started doing it accurately, and that may bode to what we will see this second half. I think it's real important for River Valley to open up their offense and start shooting. And I look for Benzie really to do much of the same what they did the first half.
Well, Nate Myers on track. He has 9 points. The big surprise for Benzie has to be the play of Jon McMillian, who only averages 10 points a game during the regular season. He has 14 here in the first half and a couple of big triples in that first half as well. And that's really been the story here. The great shooting of Benzie in the first half. Casey Cade will have it now as the Mustangs started out. Robertson high off the glass. That's good. Robertson, the leading scorer for River Valley in the first half. He had 11. Now he has 13.
And that's an important possession because they chose to go behind the zone and try and work in the paint. And let's see if that keeps up.
Down low, high glass, no good. Tipped around, rebound Kasich, and here comes the River Valley Mustangs. 36-27, a 9-point lead for Benzie. Into the corner, Dillon down low, Baker. Baker has it knocked out of his hands and into the hands of the Huskies. Here comes Nate Myers, leading scorer this year for the Huskies. Working at left side to McMillian. McMillian the drive with the left hand. Left to the block, fire, rimming, no. And the rebound, Baker on the weak side.
Nice rebound.
Casey Cade will hustle it up. Casey Cade only took 3 shots in the first half of play, 2 of 3, and he has 5 points.
Well, his big problem is 3 fouls.
6:52 just underway in the third. Casey Cade drives right hand, rimming, doesn't get it. Baker offensive rebound, turns in traffic and travels.
Yeah, they called the walk in the old days, Joe. That was up and down. Went up with the basketball, came down with it again. Really, when he went up to take the shot, he had nowhere to go. Defensively, he was blocked.
Myers across the timeline. Dillon picks him up at the top of the circle. McMillian, free throw line extended on top. And Matt Olson holding it above his head. Myers on the wing. He is a threat from 3, and here he fires and he hits it. Oh.
From your mouth to his ears, Joe.
39-27, and to the nothing but net. 39-27, a 12-point game, and a foul out front right at midcourt. Foul on Jason Sarm, the 6'1 senior.
Myers really stroked that right in front of us, and as soon as it left his hand, you could almost see it down the nets.
And Myers, of course, was the architect of that beautiful 3 that closed out the first half. And there's a foul underneath. Again, it is Sarm who's picked up his 2nd foul in 4 seconds. Sarm has 3 fouls, and Benzie now with 2 team fouls. And a 2-shot opportunity on the way from Mike Kasich, the 6'3 senior. Kasich off the back of the iron, no good.
And it's a little early to get into this philosophy, but River Valley really wants to score from the foul line because they're behind and they need to get points while the clock's not working.
Pick him up at half court now. Baseball pass. And a blocking foul is called on River Valley, and the River Valley fans losing it a little bit. They thought there was a travel baseline right, and then they thought it was an offensive foul.
I'll tell you what, the tempo of this game is sure picked up in the first 2 minutes plus in this quarter.
Francis LaHillier said so, and at the free throw line for Benzie Central.
And if Francis said so, it's so.
Sarm at the line, and the front end's good. It's 40-28, a 12-point lead for Benzie Central. 5:53 left here in the third. And the second one rims in and out. The rebound by McMillian off his hands, tipped last by the Mustangs.
Boy, and does that drive a coach crazy when somebody picks off a rebound from the foul line when you have position.
Here's the inbound. McMillian leans, right hand, no good. Tipped around and recovered by Benzie. Here's McMillian again. That one rims no good. Rebound Carpenter, and that'll be a travel.
And when you land on your butt, they count that as a step. They always have.
Carpenter now has 4 rebounds for Benzie. Cade into the corner for Baker. Out on the wing to Robertson, and Casey Cade between the circles. Drives right hand, dotted line, little stop and pop, dish down low. Baker puts it up, no good. That was Robertson with the shot.
And it could have been the blue collar 3. The blue collar 3 is the old fashioned way, folks. It's you make the 2 and get the foul shot.
Still a 12-point lead as River Valley will try to cut into it. Robertson at the free throw line. Well, Zach's a 6-footer and a senior and a 3-year starter for River Valley. And that free throw is good. Now an 11-point game, 5:26, and like you said, Coach, scoring without time moving. Oh, and almost a steal by Robertson, playing both ends of the floor excellently for the Mustangs. Myers fires the triple off the front of the iron. Tipped around Robertson, controlled by Carpenter, and the Huskies have it.
And River Valley has turned up the intensity on defense, and Benzie's responded very well.
The turn and the block out front by Baker, and the rebound secured by Robertson. Casey Cade will walk it up now for the Mustangs. Under 5 minutes to go, third quarter, a 10-point lead for Benzie.
And if crowd support could score basketball points, River Valley would be ahead in this game.
Robertson, dish down low, follow in the fill by Baker. And it's 40-32. 4 unanswered now for River Valley. They've cut the lead to 8, 4:35 left here in the third. Pass on the wing, Baker with the steal, but it's controlled by Olsen. Triple on the way, Meyer rimming, doesn't get it, gets the rebound on the left side. Drive, dish, score.
That was
Jason
great.
Sarm.
That was great ball movement by Benzie. They looked for the open man and found it. That was very good ball movement.
Baker in the corner, tiptoe on the line. 42-32. Benzie Central with a 10-point lead.
One interesting statistic is Benzie has picked up in the last 2 minutes 5 offensive rebounds. That made a real difference in what's happening in this basketball game.
Out on the wing left is Jason Tarzany. Down low, left hand is good. And ball knocked out of bounds on the press. It will go back to the Mustangs.
And again, Benzie is responding very, very well to the turned up pressure of River Valley. River Valley's been playing very well. They're moving the ball very well. They're scoring a lot easier. They've turned up the tempo and defense, and Benzie's responding to it.
With those 2 points, McMillian now has 16, the game's leading scorer. Baker on the wing left, and a foul. McMillian picks up his second, and that's the team's 4th. They'll shoot the bonus at 7 fouls, and they'll shoot 2 at 10. Baker, finger roll, right hand is good. 44-34, 3:30 left in the third, a 10-point lead for Benzie. Huskies with the ball, and the red and the white working right to left. The drive by Myers. He stops and he's bumped in the lane. That foul's going to go against Greg Newell, the senior.
I think River Valley has their offense in sync, and they're scoring a lot easier than they did the first half. Now they have to make some adjustments on defense and make some stops and bring this 10-point deficit down to a manageable 3 or 4.
Going to have to hustle the toss in, and Myers grabs it out by the center court circle. Myers a little shake and bake between the legs, drives, dishes right side, free throw line extended, ball blocked and controlled by Baker. Great rebound when you can block it and then rebound it.
Right. And that's not easy to do on a three-pointer.
Casey Cade now looking to go to work on McMillian on the left wing. Drives, he'll go all the way in, right hand good, and the foul is called. A 3-point opportunity for River Valley. As they cut the lead to 10, the foul will be called on Jason Tarsney.
The young man found the lane, drove right to the basket, got fouled, has a chance for the blue-collar 3.
There you see Casey Cade. Cade now is 7, has a chance to have 8 points in this game as he tries to complete the 3-point play. 44-36, an 8-point game, and the free throw is missed. 2 minutes, 54 seconds left in the third. Myers across the timeline for Benzie. Working out front against Greg Newell.
Oh.
And a block and a foul, and the basket is called as Kasich got him with a body.
That was a great pass. Found the open man to the right side of the basket. Got it to him in a quick way, and just a beautiful play.
Now, Brian Rosa did not look like a sophomore on that drive. And Rosa will be at the free throw line to shoot 1.
Well, what made that work was the pass from Nate Myers. It was just a great pass.
Free throw is rimming. No. Tipped around, and Kasich comes down with it. Casey Cade down 10 with his Mustangs. 46-36. Baseline left, and Newell had it kicked around and finally brings it back outside. They'll start the offense again with Cade on the right wing. Cade looking to go around a pick on McMillian. They kick it around left side. Robertson forced a 3 and didn't get it, and a reach-in foul on Kasich.
Yeah, that was a forced shot, and they almost acted like they were running out of a time clock. And don't forget, in high school basketball, there is no time clock.
Jason Sarm back in the ball game. Chase Carpenter will get a breather. And there you see the inbound the ball is Brian Rosa. Get a good look at the sophomore, 6-footer, 175. Across the timeline, Myers working at right wing. Benzie now playing a little bit of slowdown, not in any kind of a hurry, and McMillian has it left wing. Myers, the pinpoint passer and an accurate shooter from 3. There it is again.
Yeah, you know, and as they went into the more deliberate style to burn clock, you wouldn't think that they would take the 3, and he just buried it.
49-36, 13-point lead for Benzie Central, 137 ticking, third quarter. They come out to get Cade, and Robertson will have it way outside. Toss it inside to Baker. Myers comes up with a loose ball. Huskies forcing it across the timeline. A 5-on-5 down the lane. Oh, what a beautiful pass.
Beautiful.
And Rosa lays it off the glass.
Beautiful. You know, it's kind of interesting. You said earlier, if River Valley was to win this basketball game, they're going to have to keep it in the 40s. Well, you were very accurate. They're in real danger of losing control of this game, and Benzie has already reached 51. So, nice prediction, Joe.
51-36 our score. Benzie Central leading River Valley at the 1:14 mark of the third quarter. Glad you could join us from the Jack Breslin Students Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University. You saw Myers with the pass. Maybe the spirit of Magic Johnson lives in this building somewhere. That was a nice little no-look behind the back alley. I don't know what you call it, a little alley-oop kiss off the window and in.
Well, you know, kids today are so talented, so young, and they've been exposed to such great athletes on TV with the NBA and Division I basketball. It's almost second nature to them now. They're dribbling between their legs at 8 years old.
There's the Benzie faithful in their red and white. Leading the cheers for their second-year coach, Chris Collins, the pride of Traverse City, class of 1988, where he went to high school.
Boy, it's sure noisy in here. These kids sure whip it up during March Madness.
I want to remind you, videotapes of this basketball game and others, all the semifinals and finals available through ABS Sports. 55. We lost the graphic there, so ABS Sports. We'll catch up on that in just a moment as we bring it into the near court with River Valley. Casey Cade from downtown East Lansing missed it. 51-36, a 15-point lead as we move into the fourth quarter of play. Glad you could join us. Joe, Jason, Mike Cenit. Jason Tarzny goes left baseline, blocked by Baker. I'll tell you what, it was a good block. If he wouldn't have swatted at it, he probably would have got away with it, but that big arm swing through and the follow-through caused the foul.
Well, I think they caught him with the lower hand on the body because that was a clean block. He got all ball up on top.
Tarzny at the free throw line to shoot a couple. That'll be the 15th foul on River Valley. They have one more to give before the Huskies go to the bonus. And the same being for Benzie Central in their foul situation.
And coming back the other way, River Valley has a critical possession. They've really got to get on the board, on the scoreboard at this first possession and start whittling away at this lead.
Tarzny connects. And it's 52-36, a 16-point ball game. Casey Cade into the middle. Baker free throw line. Jumper good. That was a big basket.
Big basket. Possession points become critical. That's what this is all about at this point in the game.
Here's the press. It becomes a 2-on-2, and Benzie will just be happy to back it out and start the offense with Nate Myers. Well, Myers and McMillian have combined for 31 of the 52 points for Benzie Central. Myers is 15, McMillian was 16, and now Myers will just back and forth that dribble against Dillon out front. NBA three-pointer off the front of the iron, and Kasich with a 2-on-2. Kasich will fire, and that is the end of the third quarter.
Now we've got 8 minutes left, and River Valley can really pull this basketball game out. There's two keys to this. Possession points, score every time you have a possession. Make sure you make your foul shots, and on defense, make sure you make stops and get the basketball. It's very elementary, but it can be done.
Well, we were mentioning how you could pick up tapes of the semifinals and the finals. And once again, the videotapes of the boys basketball semifinals and finals are available through ABS. That's ABS Sports. 5547 Columbiaville Road in Columbiaville, Michigan. That is 48421, and the number is 810-793-8889. Now, back when I was in high school, and I'm sure even before that, when you coached, it was so neat just to have some sort of a reel of the game. And then, of course, to get games on radio, but now you bring the best of two worlds. Now parents are able to capture their children playing basketball on videotape with audio, and it's just very exciting for the parents to have something like that as a memento.
Well, when I was playing in high school, we were just happy to get a score line in the newspaper, which was very infrequently.
What's that?
Yeah, and of course, it was a red letter day when a working parent could get to see you play in person, and now they could have tapes of this game and really have it for a lifetime.
Now we're getting set for the fourth quarter of action. 52-38 is our score, a 14-point lead for Benzie Central. And right now, Coach Jerry Schaefer talking to his Mustangs and trying to see if they can get some instant offense going here at these semifinals.
Well, if there ever was a maestro with a world of experience, Coach Schaefer has it. I'm sure he's been in this position before, and all the coaching we could do up here, he's done it before, and he knows what to do.
Benzie will have it to start the fourth. 52-38 our score. The Huskies leading the Mustangs here at the Breslin. Here's Myers driving the lane, fadeaway jumper, no good, and the rebound. Rosa up over the back, came flying in out of nowhere.
What a tough shot that was. Ooh.
Well, I tell you what, though, when they're falling and you have a big lead, those shots are a lot easier to take. 15 for Robertson. He was kind of quiet there in the third quarter for River Valley. Kasich and Cade each have 17. McMillian and Myers have combined for 31. McMillian with 16 and Myers with 15. Loose ball down on the floor, picked up. Robertson lost it. Kasich comes up with it, tipped around and controlled by Brian Rosa, the sophomore. Myers will have it. Down to 7:28 to go. Almost knocked away by Baker. The drive and a blocking foul is called on Kasich. That'll be the sixth team foul called on River Valley.
That's one of those calls, could have gone either way again.
Four fouls now on Kasich. Casey Cade was in some foul trouble. He had 3 in the first half. He settled down. He hasn't picked up another one since. Here's the inbound. And basket will count.
Nice shot.
No basket. Matt Olson tried to fire it up, and he'll be at the free throw line shooting 1-and-1.
That was a real heads-up shot by that young man. He knew he was getting fouled or was fouled, and he made the shot look like it was happening while he got fouled. Didn't get away with it, but good effort.
He's a junior, Matt Olson, 6-footer, 175 at the line for Benzie Central. Nice form, and he gets it down. 53-38. The lead is now 15. Olson again, side of the iron, tipped around. Robertson saves into the hands of Casey Cade. Seven minutes, 13 seconds. Cade, one-man show, scoops and scores. Whoa!
Came around from his knees and a 180 as he was shooting, and it's a beautiful shot.
13-point lead, ball knocked out of bounds. Good defense by Robertson.
And again, basketball is a game of mini runs, and I think we're about to get into a run from River Valley. The question is, how deep will it run?
Dillon to inbound and Baker on the wing. Dotted line, won't take it. And now Cade will walk it up to the top of the circle. Backs off the dribble, free throw line extended, and now works it around to the right side. We'll stand there with 6:44 to go. Again around the left side, drives on McMillian, kicks it outside. Robertson for 3.
Whoa.
He is fouled as the basket goes down. It's a 3-point bucket. And a chance for a 4-point play.
And again, we're probably in the midst of the mini run now, and here's where it gets interesting, Joe.
Dave Nemechek right there in your picture. The official was right on top of that call. Robertson fired up the triple. It's a 10-point game, 53-43, and Robertson trying to cut it into single digits and does not rebound by Kasich. And loose ball, they call it traveling, and the ball will go back to River Valley.
Wow. And River Valley just picked up in the last 15 seconds, 2 possessions score-wise. Could be 3 right here.
Casey Cade fires up the triple. It's good! River Valley fans are on their feet. It's a 7-point ball game.
Can you imagine?
53-46. River Valley down 16, has had a 9-0 run. Here's Myers, can't give him a foot. He'll fire it and kill you from 3. And Baker reaches in and fouls. That'll be the 7th team foul.
And that's okay. If you're in a mini run, you don't want to use up too much clock on defense. Put the man on the foul line, let him earn the points, and come back and go for your 2 and your 3 and keep your run going.
7-point game, Benzie Central over River Valley, 53-46. 6:07 left in regulation. Myers free throw, rimming, yes.
And that young man has the shooting touch.
54-46. Back to an 8-point game, and Myers trying to make it 9. And he does. And with that, Myers has 17 points.
And both foul shots were exactly alike. Front rim, back rim rolled in.
Here comes Casey Cade, who has lit it up now. He has a dozen. Baker down the lane, got it! Hard kiss off the glass, but a kind bounce, and he puts it through.
And that was an important possession because they had to maintain the momentum that they picked up in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Robertson with a reach-in foul has committed the team's 8th. That is the team's 9th foul. And what's interesting about the new rule is, of course, after you go to 10, it's a two-shot opportunity. There you see Jerry Schaefer, calm, cool, collected on the outside.
Well, you know, interesting. Some River Valley fans winced at that foul. I think it's a good thing, and there's your reason right there. Now, of course, you need to get the ball.
And a traveling is called. There you take a look at the pride of Traverse City, Michigan, Chris Collins. The '88 Traverse City High School graduate, went on to Hope College. 55-48 our score.
Now, right here's the
7-point
potential to get it, into 2-possession basketball game by a basket here.
Casey Cade working on McMillian out front. Cade has a dozen in the game, and here's Baker for 3.
Whoa!
He got it! We've got a 4-point ball game, 55-51. Myers, there's a sense of urgency on the faces of the Huskies, leading by only 4 with 5:12 to go. They've made up 12 points of a 16-point deficit, they being the Mustangs. McMillian down the lane, short, rebound by Robertson. And a foul is called on McMillian.
And here's the timeout I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for Collins to call a timeout. This thing is just virtually gotten out of hand right now. Wow.
There's the River Valley faithful on their feet.
When those 3-pointers slam home for River Valley, it was like a hammer thrust.
4 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in regulation. 55-51, a 4-point lead for Benzie.
Now, really, the point to this game is River Valley's made a tremendous comeback. The question is, how much energy did they expel getting this comeback? Of course, they're high school kids, and you're in the high school playoffs, and you're in Michigan State. But one of the problems with long comebacks is they tend to peter out a little bit before they're complete. So it's going to be a real interesting 5 minutes, 4 minutes and 58 seconds here.
Down 16 in this ball game. River Valley has climbed back to make it a 4-point game.
And you can't even say they've clawed back. They've roared back. They've done it in exciting fashion, and it's going to be it's March Madness, Joe.
Everyone on their feet here at the Breslin Center. And going to the free throw line will be Robertson to shoot 1 and the bonus. 4:58 left in the 4th quarter. 55-51. 55-52.
It's now a 1-possession basketball game.
Robertson with 18 and now 19. It's a 2-point game. Now
and
the
a full
pressure.
court press. Watch the full court press. They may pick up a steal here.
McMillian back to Olsen, and Olsen to Myers. Myers with 17. Always a threat from 3. Fires an NBA 3. It's off the back of the iron. Rebound is tipped around and controlled by Casey Cade, and River Valley can tie. 4:33 ticking, 4th quarter. Casey Cade will call it out from between the rings. Robertson way out on the wing. Cross-court pass, Dillon back out front. Cade, shake and bake. Left side, Robertson for 3. River Valley has the lead. Unbelievable. 56-55.
Now, on the other side, it's imperative for Benzie to answer with a basket. They've had a long dry spell.
Olsen drives the paint, right hand short. Rebound, Robertson. Kicked around from behind, and Casey Cade comes up with it for the Mustangs. What a game. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. The quick double team. Robertson drives left side, puts it up, forces, can't get it. The tip by Baker.
Big rebound, big rebound.
Baker's biggest basket of the game gives him 15. 58-55. A three-point lead for River Valley. McMillian drives the double team, and it goes off of River Valley, out of bounds. Benzie needing some offense.
This last 3 minutes has just been a total disaster for Benzie. They really seen the wheels come off.
Here's the inbound, Carpenter. Carpenter on the wing will need some help, and he gets it. Here's Myers. He could tie it with a triple.
Now he's the hot man with the NBA shot.
From a pick, fires, rims, doesn't get it, rebound. Baker. Here comes River Valley and Casey Cade. Robertson in the paint, drives, leans in, gets it.
And what a great skip pass from the left side in the paint to make that basket happen.
It has been a 21-point swing. Down 16 and now up 5. River Valley, 66-55. The triple rattles, no good. McMillian fades, fires, doesn't get it. Offensive rebound, Rosa, he can't put it in, but a foul, and he'll shoot 2.
And probably the best thing that could have happened to Benzie right now is they got fouled, stopped the clock, stopped this momentum from rolling over them, and they need to make these shots.
2 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the fourth. Brian Rosa, the sophomore, at the free throw line.
And we are involved here in just a classic high school basketball game. I can't believe there's a better sport in the world than high school basketball when it's played this way.
Mike Kasich, in all of the comeback, has committed his 5th foul and is out of the game.
And a problem.
It will bring Greg Newell into the game for the Mustangs.
You hate to see a part of your comeback team sitting on the bench because of fouls.
And Rosa misses the front end of a 2-shot opportunity. There you take a look at Kasich. And the second free throw is good. So the drought is somewhat ended. 60-56, a 4-point lead for River Valley. And off of Cade's foot, out of bounds. And Benzie will get it back.
Boy, Joe, it's never over till it's over.
Well, the Benzie fans, it's nail-biting time. Triple on the way. Myers, that's good. Whoa, it's a 1-point game.
And he's the young man that brought him to the promised land, and he's the young man that could bring him back.
20 for Myers. A 1-point game, 60-49. Casey Cade gets it handed off from Baker, and Dillon will have it at the center court circle. Robertson almost lost it. Cross-court pass to Cade. Cade drives, kicks it down low. Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Huskies.
And they've played the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game like it was the last 30 seconds. I mean, it's been go, go, go basketball.
River Valley has called a timeout. 1 minute, 58 seconds left in the fourth. River Valley leading by a score of 60-59.
One of the things River Valley might want to do, nursing a 1-point lead, is take a little air out of the basketball. They've got the ball handlers. They're very good with the skip pass, the cross-court pass. They may choose to wind this clock down a minute and a half, and go for the last shot. Be interesting.
Mike, you know, the beauty of high school sports is the camaraderie that's developed between teammates. It's a relationship nurtured on the playing field, the locker room, and most importantly, in the classroom. The time that youngsters spend together in their school sports, on and off the playing field, contributes to this unique extracurricular experience. High school sports, it's a privilege to play. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association and AVS Sports. What a game, what a game.
Tighten your seatbelts. We're in for a ride the last minute and 58 seconds. So
River Valley crowd on their feet. The Mustangs set to trigger it in underneath their basket on the far side. Here come the Huskies in the red and white. Robertson to trigger. Baker takes the inbound in the corner. He'll drive, open to the basket, he'll put it up, and he's fouled. He saw the lane and took it, and the only thing they could do to stop him was foul.
So much for my theory of taking the air out of the basketball. But the other theory is continue what you've done so well to bring you back and keep the lead. So coaching decision, and I'm certainly not going to argue with that young gentleman who's been coaching there for 31 years.
Well, Baker saw the lane to the basket. I think he was looking outside. He saw no one was there. Just went right to the hole. And it's
of course, he had a man on the right side underneath, too. Could have passed it out, but if he makes these 2 shots, it's all academic.
River Valley has committed 10 team fouls, so that means any foul that River Valley commits from now on will be a 2-shot opportunity for Benzie. Benzie has just committed their 9th team foul, and Baker will be at the free throw line. Jason Tarsney will check in now for Benzie. As Matt Olson has fouled out for the Huskies. And Baker hits the front end.
You know, if this should go into OT, which is a very distinct possibility, the foul problems will manifest itself.
Couple of free throws made by Baker, 2 of 2 tonight from the stripe. 62-59, a 3-point lead for the Mustangs. McMillian hands it off to Myers.
Now watch this young man for the 3. He's the one you've got to watch.
Myers off a pick, goes in on Dillon, has to back it off. He'll fire the 3, high arcer, no good. Rebound Robertson. Robertson hustles the dribble out and gets it to Baker. Look out from behind. McMillian is there to knock it away.
Myers pulled a Joe Dumars. He backed up to the 3-point line and then took the shot.
Out on the wing. Tarsney. Now McMillian drives paint, stops, 10-footer, got it. 62-61. Down to a minute to play here in the 4th. Class C semifinal. Winner goes to the state championship game. Newell will bring it on the wing, and he's fouled. This will be a 2-shot opportunity.
You've been around high school sports long enough. Care to predict an outcome?
No.
No.
Last team to shoot. And we've got a timeout called on the floor. This time it's Benzie that wants to talk it over. Down to 52 seconds left in the 4th. And we say the 4th quarter because stranger things have happened. This might not be the end of regulation. Or this is the end of regulation. Might not be the end of the game. 62-61 River Valley. Let's reset the game. River Valley is down 52-36.
And struggling.
And struggling. Down 16. They turn it around, score 21 of the next 23 points scored, and take a 5-point lead.
Well, the thing that's interesting about River Valley is they've showed me the ability to score in flurries. Something a lot of high school teams really have trouble accomplishing. And if this should go into overtime, you hate to guess which team has the advantage, but you have to ride the team that's hot. On the other side, Benzie's best bet is to get out of here with a win in regulation time, I would think. So there's a lot of strategy being put on the table right now, and
let's take a look at the leading scorers for Benzie Central. Myers with 20, McMillian with 18, and nobody else in double figures. Meanwhile, for River Valley, 25 for Robertson. He also has 7 rebounds to go with that. Baker has 9 rebounds, 17 points, and Casey Cates turned it on here in the second half. He has a dozen.
And remember, each team has lost a starter to foul, so
here's Greg Newell, the senior. His free throw is, no good. Rimmed out to the left.
Now, River Valley really would feel much more comfortable with a basket right here.
And that free throw's good. 63-61. 51 seconds left in regulation.
They
a
gotta
2-point
get it over.
game. Myers will hustle across the timeline. Behind the back dribble, he almost lost it.
Oh, wow.
Rosa had it knocked away, and Myers gets it back, and a foul is called on Dillon diving for the ball. You can't fault Dillon on the foul. That was just a good hustle, and he wound up bumping into somebody.
And it really is a good strategic foul. If he should make both shots, it gives River Valley the ability to control their own destiny by winding down the clock and trying to get a good shot. On the other side, Benzie will probably want to put him on the foul line.
Rosa, the sophomore, at the line. Free throw is good. We have a one-point game, 63-62, 39.1 left on the clock. Second free throw, short. Rebound by Casey Cade. A one-point lead for River Valley, and they have the ball. Robertson across the timeline. McMillian hawks him. Baker back out to Cade. Cade to Robertson, and Robertson is fouled.
Now, they weren't going to shoot. There was no doubt in my mind they weren't going to look for a shot. So really, Benzie had no option but to foul him, and foul him now with 25.5 seconds left, and take their chance, because even if they make both shots, Benzie has the ability to come back and put into overtime.
Timeout on the floor. 25.5 left on the clock. Glad you could be here for this one. River Valley leading Benzie Central 63-62. The story in this game, the 16-point come from behind turnaround by River Valley to take a 5-point lead, and now to have that lead cut to 1 with 25.5. Let's take a look at Robertson from the free throw line. He's at 25 points, and you coaching so many teams, he's 6 of 7 from the free throw line today. When you play that hard at both ends of the court, when you're in there most of the time, how much does fatigue play right down at the end when you're shooting the free throw?
There is no fatigue. I mean, right now his adrenaline is pumping, and he's a very, very good foul shooter. My guess, he gets minimum of 1. He'll probably get both. You're looking here for somebody to come back and tie this game either with a 2 or a 3. There's very little chance this young man will miss both.
There you see the sign, good sports are winners. Boy, oh boy, we got a couple of teams that are winners here today. Win or lose in the score.
That's the old cliche. You hate to see anybody lose this game, but somebody has to.
Robertson at the free throw line. He will get a 2-shot opportunity. 25.5 on the clock. River Valley by 1, now by 2.
Well, he got the one I thought he'd get. Now this is the one that really changes the complexity of what Benzie has to do.
And he makes it. 27 points for Robertson. 24 ticks left on the clock. McMillian across the timeline for Benzie Central. They'll try to set Meyer in the corner for 3. Head fake. Here's the shot. It's good!
He scores!
We're tied at 65. Boy, they don't want to foul. Here comes Robertson. Drives the lane. Lays it up. It is good! 2-1. It is over. River Valley has won it. 67-65. Robertson with points 28 and 29 gives Jerry Schaefer his 500th career win. And they're going to the finals.
And certainly not his easiest win, Joe. My gosh, what an ending. What an ending.
This one is for the books. Oh,
one for the books.
And you see the River Valley faithful on their feet. Robertson drove the lane. And what do? I thought that Benzie did a good job of trying to get a hand in there, maybe even try to foul. There was a little contact underneath, but the main thing was, as the ball rolled around the rim, time stood still as it went through at the end.
And you know something? Most good officials won't call a foul on that. They'll let the player dictate the win of the game. And it was a tremendous ending, because you had the 3-pointer in the corner with 9 seconds to go and driving the lane, which was the proper thing to do, because you don't want to pull up and take a jump shot with that much time.
Well, that's what it's all about. Good sportsmanship as they shake hands at center court. And there you see the two coaches, Jerry Schaefer and Chris Collins. And the Mustang mascot making his way off the floor.
Well, he's got to be exhausted.
Let's take a look at the scoring here real quick. We had McMillian with 18 and Myers with 23 for Benzie Central. Meanwhile, for River Valley, 17 for Baker, Cade with 12. The big story is Robertson. Zac Robertson finishes with 29. 2 big free throws down the stretch to put him up by 3. The triple by Meyer for Benzie, and then of course the lay-in with 2.2 left on the clock. Time expires, and River Valley wins it. That's good.
All of these kids responded so well to the pressure. It was incredible. From those 2 free throws to the 3-pointers to the layups, just a tremendous job of coaching and kids keeping their heads on right.
That's going to do it from the Jack Breslin Students Event Center on the campus of Michigan State University. For Mike Cenit, this is Joe Jason, the final score of the Class C semifinal. River Valley 67, Benzie Central 65. This has been a presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and ABS Sports.